Hey, how's it going? I am very excited because I am going on tour really soon. I'm going to be performing original Wizard rock music inspired by the Harry Potter series at libraries and bookstores over the course of a week in Ohio and Illinois and Missouri and Kansas, finishing up at LeakyCon in Dallas, which is a huge Harry Potter convention. Also performing are Tonks and the Aurors, one of my absolute favorite Wizard rock bands. This is one of their shirts, along with some great poetry from Olivia Dolphin of Wizards in Space. And some of the shows will even start with some creative writing workshops, which is super cool. I'm going to put all of the information on the tour in the video description below. Today I wanted to answer some frequently asked questions about the tour and about Wizard rock concerts in general, as well as some questions that some of you sent me on social media. Follow me at LaurenFairWX if you haven't already. Elizabeth says, I'm new to Wizard rock. Where should I start my listening journey? One of the cool things about Wizard rock is that there are a lot of different genres, so depending on what kind of music you like, there probably is a Wizard rock band out there who's made music that's right up your alley. If you're planning on coming to one of our shows or just a Wizard rock concert near where you live, I recommend looking up the bands that you're going to see ahead of time and kind of listening to their music just to get an idea of what you might be hearing at the show. But just in general, I feel like Harry and the Potters is a good place to start. For most Wizard rock bands, I absolutely recommend that you try to see them live if they are still performing, because live Wizard rock shows are something that is very hard to explain to someone who's never been there before. It's the kind of thing that you have to go and experience because it is so wonderful, and you may not necessarily grasp what the live show might be like just from listening to the recordings of a band. Part of what makes Wizard rock shows so magical is the audience. But Harry and the Potter shows are some of my absolute favorite memories of all time. There is just something about going to see that band that I just love so much. They're fantastic. I'm going to get to perform on the same lineup as them for LeakyCon, and I am beyond excited to see them again. I really like Tonks and the Aurors. It's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to go on tour. Steph is super cool. Her music is really great. I highly recommend it. And she just released a new album called Huffle Riot, which is awesome. Another one of my favorite Wizard rock bands, and a really good one to recommend if you haven't listened to any Wizard rock before, is the Mudbloods. And they're also going to be performing at LeakyCon, and for a while they stopped performing, so it's really great to get to see them again. But like I said before, everybody likes different kinds of music, so it's kind of hard to recommend Wizard rock bands to just the general public. And so I highly recommend just like doing your research and looking into what's out there, and if there's a particular kind of music that you really love, see if you can find any Wizard rock that sounds like that. Lucy asked, what is my favorite and least favorite part about touring? My favorite thing about touring is definitely the people I get to see. I haven't toured for longer than a weekend since 2012, so I am very excited to get to go to a bunch of places I haven't been in a long time, get to see a bunch of people I haven't seen in a while. My least favorite part about touring is when people are occasionally mean to me. Because we perform in public places like libraries and bookstores, we occasionally will get audience members who didn't necessarily intend to go to a Wizard rock concert that day. And most of the time when people stumble in and don't like what they're hearing, they leave. And that is what I prefer. Every once in a while, I'll go up to the merch table and somebody will feel like it's their duty to let me know how much they are not enjoying themselves. We do occasionally get some people who think that we are evil or that we are actually performing witchcraft. And sometimes I get people who don't necessarily realize that I am the performer, and they talk to me about the performer as if I'm not standing right there. I just don't really like when that happens. I feel like there is an obligation for me to smile and be nice and just wait until people are done expressing their grievances with me, and then hopefully they leave. Not always. Sometimes the police needs to get involved. Actually, the police was called at a Tonks and the Aurors show on her previous tour. But I can only hope that people will be reasonable and keep their negativity to themselves and focus on the really great people that we get to see as a result of this tour. What was the best concert you ever played? That is a very tough question to answer. I think Leaky London has a really special place in my heart. There was a LeakyCon in London back in 2013, I believe, and it was one of the best trips of my life. The audience was more energetic and excited than any other audience I'd ever performed for, and I usually am unlucky that I get to perform for people who are excited pretty much all the time. But that crowd had been waiting a really long time for us to come there and perform for them, and you could tell just the energy in the room was outstanding. Elizabeth asks, which parts of the country do you like touring best and why? I feel like I want to say the West Coast. We've had a lot of really great Los Angeles shows, Northern California shows, Portland Portland, Oregon shows and Seattle shows that I have really great memories from. We didn't go there on every tour because it was extremely expensive to get all the way out there, and it took a lot more time because everything is very far apart out on the West Coast. It was a lot of driving, not a lot of sleeping, but the shows were always really great. The people were always really excited and super nice. We got to do a little bit of sightseeing along the way, and the West Coast is just such a cool place. Individual cities that I really liked: St. Louis, Missouri. I also liked performing in New Orleans because we usually got to go to Bourbon Street afterwards, and it was so much fun. I really like the Malfoy Manor house shows in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. We do those 4 times a year, and they are fantastic. Mary asks, do you have any favorite car games to play while driving on tour, or what do you do to pass the time? The first tour that I ever went on, 10 years ago, it was 2008, we listened to show tunes and sang along with them the entire way, and it was really, really fun. Usually we just talk, sometimes we listen to music. The people who are not driving will get a chance to sleep since we usually don't get a whole lot of sleep on tour. I don't know, I like looking out the window. For most of my life, I would fly places whenever I would travel. So just, you know, you get on the plane and then you fly somewhere and then you get off the plane and you're in a totally new location. You don't get to see the in-between as much. But when you're touring, you get to see all of it. And so I've gotten to see so many cool places that I never would have imagined would be as beautiful as they are. I get a little bit car sick, but I'll sometimes play video games in the car if I'm feeling okay. Olivia asks, what kind of travel snacks do you like? Asking for a friend. I think that friend is me. Olivia's coming on tour with me. I'm so excited to hang out with her for a week because I try to eat relatively healthy on the road and not eat anything too heavy or that like clogs up my throat because I'm going to be singing. I tend to get sunflower seed kernels and pumpkin seeds and things like that. I usually want to get chocolate and then it always melts in the car, especially during summer tours. So I usually don't do that unless it's like a small chocolate bar that I'm eating immediately after I buy it. Water. I know water isn't really a snack, but I drink a lot of water on tour. Elizabeth asked, what is my favorite song from my new album? Now that I'm getting closer to the end of recording, I think I have a clear favorite, and that is Nerve. It's my Ginny Weasley song. It sounds super cool on the album, at least what I've heard of it so far. I'm going to link to a performance that I did of that if you haven't heard it yet. And probably the most frequently asked question that I received was, when are you going to play in insert city here? Obviously, I can't play everywhere. It's only a week-long tour. I can only get to so many places. But in general, I would love to play most places, but I don't personally run the events. I just perform at them. So what I need in order to perform in a specific city is for somebody to put on some kind of convention or concert and invite me to it. They need to be able to afford to cover my expenses. I can't just buy plane tickets and hotel rooms to go play anywhere for fun anymore. It needs to fit in with my existing schedule. It helps if there are other Wizard Rock bands on the lineup because I'm always excited to go and see my friends and play shows with them together. I can't take on as many shows as I used to, but if somebody comes to me and offers me everything that I need in order to get there and it sounds like a really fun event that I want to be a part of, I'll go, I'll travel for it. But I really appreciate everyone out there who makes such a huge effort to get to the shows that I do play. They travel farther to get to my shows. They follow me on social media so they make sure that they don't miss a show announcement. I can only be in so many places, but in order to make that happen, there needs to be a show that I can perform at. My business email is right on my YouTube channel. It's also on my website, laurenfairweather.com. So if you are planning a concert or a convention and you want to reach out to me, do it, and I'll let you know if it's possible for me to go. And one other thing that you can do, and I'm not totally sure how this works, but if there is a nerd convention happening near you, reach out to the organizers and let them know that you would love to see me. Send them examples of my performances, show them my YouTube channel so they can see that I have an audience, and let them know how they can reach me, and tell them that you would be really excited if they booked me for their convention. So if you yourself are not an event planner, but you really want me to play near you, I feel like there are probably ways to make that happen if you reach out to people who do know how to do those things. If you have any more questions about my tour or Wizard Rock concerts, leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. Read the video description below for more information on my upcoming tour dates, and go to laurenfairweather.com/shows for a complete list of all of my upcoming concerts. I hope that you can make it to one of the shows. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.